Today I am doing a new client consultation. This is not one of my contest winners, but she did enter the contest, and although she did not win the contest, she still wanted to start her healthy hair journey. So today we're doing a new client silk press package, which includes the consultation, a thorough consultation, a new hair care regimen, a silk press, a treatment tailored to your hair needs, and a trim. Okay, so what's your name?
I'm Sarah.
I'm Diara, by the way, just in case anyone doesn't know. And thank you guys for watching. So we're just gonna jump right in. Sarah, how long have you been natural?
I'd say probably since, I don't know, as long as I can remember, maybe like since high school.
Okay, so since high school. So you've had a relaxer
in the past,
prior to in the past. You grew it out, cut all the relaxed hair out of your hair.
Yes.
Yep.
But I will say that like I have like some heat damage, so like it probably won't necessarily look like that when it's
Got you. Okay, you do have heat damage. All right, so tell me a little bit about your current hair care regimen. Like, start at what you're doing with your hair week by week, and then also give me details about the products that you're using.
So I don't really do much to my hair at home. I just came out of wig braids. I think like a lot of times my hair is either in wig braids or maybe like a U-part or something like that. Just allows me to like go to the gym and have more flexibility.
Okay.
I typically am not always in a silk press because I'm not actually loving the density and also the length of my hair, so that's both two things that I would like to work on. But I know I'm due for a trim, and I didn't want to do like a blow dry trim and then have to come back and get another trim because it wasn't straight when I got it trimmed.
Got you.
So yeah, in terms of regimen, I think normally I'm just in a salon. So whatever products they're using, which maybe isn't the most helpful.
So you don't shampoo your own hair at home?
Correct.
Okay, so even when you're getting your wig, braids, and everything, you're going to the salon, you're getting shampooed, you're getting braided down for your wig, and then you're putting your wig on, and then that's it.
Yep.
How often are you doing that?
Every 2 weeks. I think because of the holidays, these might have been in a little bit longer, but typically I think my hair does better when it's like washed completely versus like keeping it in longer or like washing the braid. So typically it's 2 weeks and
2 weeks and done.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, you're not sure of what the products that they're using?
Off the top of my head, no.
Okay. Are you getting treatments and trims done regularly?
So my last trim was like in September. And then in terms of treatment, I do protein treatments and like moisture treatments and whatever else they might suggest. So
so you do. Okay. All right. So I'm not gonna lie, just looking at your hair now, this is fresh out of the wig braids. So I know, some people are like, well, I haven't done anything to it, but that's the point, because normally when you don't do nothing to it, that is like the state of your hair, so you want to look at it in this state to see how it's currently doing. The only thing that I can say currently about your hair is I do see signs of dryness. So I'm not exactly sure of the product, but I would think it is the product since you are so consistent. If you were someone who was not consistent with, getting your hair done, then it could be the regimen per se, like how often you're shampooing, and it could be that with the product. But in this case, seeing that you are seeing a professional, you're getting your hair done every 2 weeks, I would assume that the products that are being used are not the best product for your hair. Okay. So what I am going to do today is I'm going to do a moisture treatment. That's the only thing that I could say I see wrong with your hair now. Any type of damage. I don't see any like excessive breakage or anything like that. But it does feel slightly dry. Okay. And then you did say you had heat damage toward the ends. What do you think that could come from, since you don't do silk presses often?
I think like over time. So I think like there was a point in time where I was doing like, this would probably be like back during like COVID, but like there was a point in time where I was doing silk presses every like 2 weeks, and I can show you pictures, but I think at that point the person who was doing them, that was the first time I was able to see kind of like my hair like grow and retain length. She was doing treatments and stuff, but I don't know if that means like my hair does better when it's in silk presses versus what I'm doing. But I think like I also went to school out in LA, so like changing just stylists from moving. I moved to Charlotte and didn't know anyone. Had like seen a couple different people here, things like that. So I think like honestly just like again, I don't do my hair at home,
Right,
so I don't
you
want to
don't
blame
know.
anyone.
Exactly,
but like I think
exactly.
just going from one person who maybe like used a hot comb and they shouldn't, or another person who just didn't do exactly what would have been best for my hair.
Okay, all right, no problem. Well, you found me, so we're gonna get you together. So yeah, we can get started. I'm gonna go in first with a moisturizing shampoo because again, the issue that I'm seeing is dryness. So we want moisture, moisture, moisture. So I'm gonna go in with the moisturizing shampoo. We're gonna do a moisture treatment, and then I'm gonna blow dry and straighten you prior to your trim so we can get in a good trim. Did you have any questions for me before we start?
I don't think so.
Okay. All
I'm sure
right,
I might
cool.
think of something like
Yeah,
that.
along the way. And then there's a slight thinning in the edges. Is that something that's natural? Or?
So I'd say like right here and right here.
Right.
So around like 2020, I got a sew in and they did it like way too tight and it took out my hair in this areas.
Okay.
And so since then I've been trying to like grow it back and I haven't really seen that much progress there.
Okay.
I've been like careful not to like put tension there or like have any sort of tight hairstyles. Even sometimes like when I do wig braids, we might do them like this way instead of going back or like or maybe we leave the hair out in those areas. I know people have suggested, I can't think of the name, but the comb that kind of does the buzz thing.
Oh, I know what you.
Kind of for those areas,
the red light,
yes,
the infrared,
stuff like that. But that's kind of what happened there.
Okay,
So.
I mean, I'm old school. Scalp stimulation is the best way to grow hair. So literally just getting the blood circulating in that area. You
Right.
don't necessarily need any oil or any product. Literally just massaging. Okay, so whenever you get some time at home, if you're just sitting, just take your hands and go in and massage. There are also like little massage. They go in and just kind of massage the temples. So
And you don't have to use oil or anything like
no,
that. Just
no, you don't need. Just massage it from time to time, and keep doing the same thing you're doing with making sure that, like again, if you do the wig braids, braid them that way. Try not to pull it back too much. And yeah, you should see some progress over time. Okay, we'll get started. 1,000 strands a day.
Right, and so that's what people told me, and I was like, okay, am I seeing more than 1,000 strands? No, but like it was still just like me seeing it on the counter. I was like, no, like can't be right. So then that's when people were like, well, go to the dermatologist and go to the have the scalp exams with like the microscope and all of that, and none of that came back to say that I had anything. Going on, but like we did try that shampoo, more of a fine texture hair. And so then it was like, okay, I paid all this money to get silk pressed, and now my hair is like
it's way down,
see-through and stringy.
Could that have been because of the products being used again, like the styling products?
That could have been it. I think like I'm also not like I think some people when they finish their silk presses like to spray a whole bunch of hairspray. I don't think that helps me. And so like it could have been all those things. But that was just like how I was feeling, and then I think like because my hair was my scalp was quote unquote oily, people would say, okay, don't wrap your hair, instead like use rollers, and then like
she
do
just
the
said
other
nothing. She just said no, it's
so,
not.
Yeah, and so like I was just sitting there in the chair, and I was like, yeah, I think this will be my last day here. And then I remember I had went to her to get like some wig braids, and the person that I was going to for a wig install, it was for my birthday, and they were very like strict about
how they wanted it braided.
Yeah, and so I like talked it over with her, showed her the pictures, and she kind of laughed and was like, you know, if they're this strict, why don't they do their own braiding? And I was like, I don't know, I just think she can't braid, but whatever.
Well, that
like,
is kind of true though.
Like,
if you're strict.
I do agree, but like that was just, you know, I'm just the messenger. Like I'm just the person here trying to get my. So, but the biggest thing was like don't have them big and bulky because she wanted it to lay flat.
Yeah.
And I went to her, and I can show you a picture of this too. The braids were so humongous, but they started small in the front, and it's like if you're showing me my hair in the mirror, I'm like, okay, great. And I got in the car and just put my hand on my head, and it was like they became like huge plaits. And I was like, I already know if I show.
Oh, so they went small to big. Were you getting a frontal?
No, I was just getting, and I don't know like where the disconnect was. Right. And so like I ended up texting her later. Well, actually, before I even pulled off, like in the car, and was just like, you know, like these aren't gonna match what she's looking for. And she ended up refunding me my money. But I think between that and like the other thing, I was just like, yeah, like I don't think I'll be back here. Because we had talked for multiple weeks about like can you do this braid down? If not, do I need to go somewhere else?
Especially because this was for your birthday.
Exactly. And so then I had to scramble and like go somewhere else to get the braids done before the wig appointment. And it was just, it was a lot. And so like after that, I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I go somewhere else. And I had recommendation, or is it about the same in terms of like, is either one of them better, quote unquote?
Yeah, it would be the same. Okay. It would be the same. One is not better than the other. Obviously, one will last you longer than the other because, you know, the braid down, you put the wig on.
Regardless, in 2 weeks, I'd be back in the shampoo bowl. So,
but I'm not gonna lie, your hair is okay. It does feel slightly dry, but it's not as dry. Even though we just did the treatment, it's not as dry as I initially thought. And I'm assuming it's just because it got out of braid, so it was feeling extra dry. But it doesn't feel, it is still dry, but it's not as bad. Your ends, though, are bad. Okay? You do have, so aside from just the see-through ends where, you know, that's clear, you do have split ends that have gone and split up the hair shaft, okay? So your true length should be down here, but because of your split ends, you have short pieces that are even like this short, okay? Which means in order to have that full density from root to end, because I don't know if you can feel it, but your hair feels really full, like really dense, closer to the scalp, and as you start to come out, it starts to thin out a lot, and that's due to the split ends, okay? So you would probably need to trim about 1 inch today, and then again, continuous trims I would say every 4 to 6 weeks. But we would probably have to stay at the same length until we can get that density from root to end. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So just because we would want all of these shorter pieces to actually grow down so that it's all one length.
But will we still trim the shorter pieces like
we won't be able to catch. So I do go in, like I usually trim the base and then I do go in, but you're not going to be able to catch like the pieces that are this short, you know what I mean? So that's why we got to allow them to grow out to be able to catch up to your actual length. It would require a trim every visit. Okay. So
and then when we're trimming it every visit, how short are we gonna get?
We're gonna stay where we are. So we're staying where we are today after today's trim. And then 4 weeks or 3 to 6, depending on, you know, when you decide to come back, we'll trim little bit at a time, staying at the same length where we are today, where we end up today.
Okay.
Which would be probably around here.
And will it be at that length all around, or am I gonna have like layers, or is it gonna be
well,
like
your
longer?
front is a lot shorter, so it will be a lot shorter in the front. Yeah. Just right here, because you know these pieces, I'm not cutting 1 inch off of this. I'm just gonna kind of like you know, clean it up. But so we need this to grow down too, as you know. So I'll just trim that like a little bit just to kind of get the ends, and we need that as well. Just, you know, we'll keep trimming that as it grows down. Same thing all the way around. But yeah, it'll be longer in the back for sure. Okay. Just because of how it is in the front, a little bit shorter in the front.
But and the back of the inch will be taken off too.
Right. Yeah.
Can I see?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you see how you can see through all of that right there? You can see through all of that.
Off, like, so really there?
Yeah, all of that.
Okay.
All of that.
And then in order for me to get trimmed each time, would I have to get a certain style, or it could get...
It would have to be blow dry. So with almost every style, I blow dry. Even if I do flexi rod set, if I do a twist style, if I do even the natural styles, I always blow dry first. So you would have to, you know, you can't... The only thing that I wouldn't suggest trimming is a wash and go for you, and that's only because of the split ends. I won't be able to see, you know what I mean, any of the split ends. So that's for you, that's the only way.
So any style outside of a wash and go, I should be good.
Yeah, any style outside of a wash and go. Okay. You could trim.
And then in terms of getting the braid down versus the silk press, they both
that would
have
be
the
up
same result.
That would kind of be up to you.
I'll probably just do the braid down then.
Okay.
If you don't, I was getting the silk press because I thought I needed it so you could
to
see
do the trim.
Like to have like a really good trim. But if you think the trim is going to be the same in the blow dry state, then
yeah, it will.
Does my hair feel dry? Like I should be like doing something like
it does feel dry.
Home?
I think, but it's not you. I feel like it's just the products. So I think that with the product change, that you'll start to see a big difference in how dry your hair is. Because again, you've been consistent with getting it done.
Yeah, like I don't think outside of the gap from Christmas. And maybe like once in October, and again that would have just been like I had wig braids a little bit longer. I haven't been in box braids for 2 months.
Yeah. All right. So today, instead of the silk press, we decided to finish off with just a braid down. We did a moisture treatment. We did a good trim, and she's gonna go put her wig on. This is just some scalp lotion, just to kind of keep your scalp refreshed. If you want to look into this so that your scalp doesn't dry out while it's in the wig, you can too. It's the Mazzani scalp lotion, scalp care, but I'll write it down for you in your description. I love how this feels on my scalp.
This is different than the spray?
Than the leave-in? Yes. Yeah, so a leave-in spray, oh, it's over there, but I was going to show it to you. But yeah, that's for your hair. So the scalp lotion is for your scalp, just to keep the scalp moisturized.
So I would
spray, but it's very lightweight.
And
so
then do the lotion?
So I kind of want to show you like the difference between like this and oil. It's very lightweight. It's just going to melt into the skin. Whereas if I was to put oil, you'll feel that, and that's just going to continue to sit on top. You see, do you feel the difference? So that's why I always, you know, try to tell people, like, do not moisturize your scalp with oil, because it's literally just going to sit right on top there, okay? You feel how this is kind of like lightweight, it doesn't feel heavy, you know. Oil normally, as soon as you put it on, you can kind of feel it, you know. So just something that's very lightweight is going to moisturize the scalp. And then the leave-in spray, yes, like I said, I already sprayed that in your hair, but you know, every 2 days or so, every other day, or right before you go to the gym, go ahead and hit it with that leave-in spray just to keep the braids moisturized.
And then how often would you use the lotion?
To be honest, you maybe like once a week. You don't really need that too often. If you ever feel like your scalp is getting flaky, which you don't have any issues with that, it's really more so for people who do get like the flaky dry scalp. But regardless, I like to put it on everyone's scalp when you're about to put something on your head, like a wig or something, just to kind of, you know, make sure it's nice and moisturized underneath. So you don't have to use it often. Okay. It was nice meeting you, Sam.
You too.
bye.